brother. But what he doesn't know is that before Zev accepted the job, he had a number of offers, and he couldn't really decide where to go. And I said, did any of the Rebbeim have daughters? And he said yes. He said, there's actually, all of them do. They're all around your age. They're all fantastic. I said, any redheads? That's it. Thank you. First of all, Kodem Kol, I just want to thank Kadosh Baruch Hu for bringing me to this moment. Baruch Shechianu v'kimanu lezman hazeh. It's Ilufinu Malei Shiyah Kayom. That's all I can say right now. I don't have enough words to express how I'm feeling. But I'll start with some words of Torah. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Kisisa. So there's a moment that is extremely rich with emotion. When, after the Chi HaEgel, Moshe turns to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he says, Hareini nas k'vodecha. And it's this moment where he asks HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm at the end of my stick. I need you to tell me what's going on. Show me what your plan is. Let me in on the grand scheme. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu responds and he says that no man can live, no man can see my face and live. And Or HaChaim explains that his response, quite appropriately, is that no man can know the grand scheme, no man can know the grand plan, and no man can really grasp the totality of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's divine scheme for our world and our lives, and for Klal Yisrael. But, in distinction with that, there are moments in life when you can look back and you can see with a real clarity, and you can get a glimpse, a small glimpse at HaKadosh Baruch Hu's plan. And in Parshas Vayigash, when Yaakov comes down to Mitzrayim, so there's this really interesting exchange that really says they're sheni. And Paro says to Yaakov, he says, how old are you? He asks him his age, and Yaakov says, I'm 130, and my days have been little, and they've been bad, ra'im, they've been bad. And then in the next Parsha, which is just one parak later in Vayechi, Yaakov gives this beautiful bracha to Ephraim and Menashe, and he says to them, Hamalach hagavar losi mikol ra yivarech es hana'arim. The Malach, the angel that has redeemed me from all bad, should bless the Na'arim, should bless Ephraim and Menashe. And if they're in two different parshas, so I think that it gets lost on a lot of people, but it's really incredible how in the span of one parak, Yaakov's life view, the whole framework that he places his life, bad to Hamalach hagavar losi, changes. It's a huge shift. And it really begs the question, what happened? And I'd like to suggest that what happened was, what was happening, he was blessing Ephraim and Menashe, right, his grandchildren, and he saw that, Klal Yisrael was going to make it in Mitzrayim. And Yaakov saw a future for the Jewish people, and suddenly there was this moment of clarity, where everything aligned, and it framed his whole life in a different light, and suddenly everything just moved into focus, and it was just this moment, an epiphany, a moment of clarity. And I think that in life, sometimes you have that moment, that Hamalach hagavar losi moment, and you can kind of combine, and you can mesh all of the events, the scattered events of your life, into one cohesive unit, into one cohesive plan of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it's very easy to see how he is conducting, how he is manipulating and orchestrating everything in your life. And I think you've heard from my father and from Rabbi Muskin that it's very easy when you look at mine and Dina's history and how we came to be us. So it's very clear to see the yad of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And it's very easy to say, Baruch Hashem, it wasn't filled with tsaros like the life of Yaakov Avinu, who was able to have this huge turnaround. But it's easy to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu's hand. And we just went through Purim, which again is the same idea that in retrospect, it's so easy to see the yad of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And I understand that Chassanim have a koach of giving a bracha. So I wanted to give Dina and myself a bracha that our lives should be, as they're going to be filled with moments that are going to be difficult, and they're going to be filled with moments that are filled with simcha. And that's life, that's the nature of life. But I hope that we will, along the way, have moments of Hamalach hagavar losi mikol ra, and at the end, whenever the end may come down the line at Meva Esrim plus, we can look back and we can say, we can unify our whole lives and have a moment where we can say, Hamalach Hagol Osimi Kol Ra, and it should be the realization and the manifestation of our dreams and all the things we want to do for Klal Yisrael and all the things we want to build together, and that's my bracha to us. So you can all say Amen now. Now. Thank you. I just want to say a couple thank yous. I hope I'm not dragging on too long. I already thanked HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That was a big one. I'd like to start by thanking my in-laws. Future in-laws? In-laws? What do we call them? In-laws. In-laws. Okay. Ima and Abba. For being so incredibly, to say you've been welcoming is an understatement of the century. You've been proactive in creating a relationship and getting to know me not just as Dina's future husband, but as someone who you've taken in as a son of your own. You've given so much to me already. You've offered in the way of advice, in the way of gashmis and svarim, and thanks, by the way. And I can't thank you enough, and I'm really excited to Mir Hashem live a life together where we experience a lot of smachut and just only good things. So thank you so much. To my parents, I'll start with my mother. Are you crying yet?
I'm not crying yet.
Okay. I want to thank my mother. For those of you who don't know my mother, if I had to sum up the way that she parented over the past 21, almost 22 years, my mother is unendingly giving. And she always said when we were young, I'm happy when you're happy. And that's really the way I could define her motherhood. It's always been about my happiness, and it's always been about letting me go and do and enjoy. I think those are your words. Go, do, enjoy, just like that. That's how you say it. And it's so meaningful, and thank you so much for getting me to this point. To my father, who, if you didn't notice when he was giving over Shtickle Torah, I don't know anyone who gets as much hana from Torah as my father. Imamish lights up his face. Thank you to Rav Sachs for lighting up my father's face very often. And just as a father also, someone who's really with me in my simcha. He experiences my victories. He's with me at every step of the way. Any minute thing to a great thing, he feels it, and he lifts me even higher in those moments. I don't want to go through Noah, Zev, and Michal because we'll be here all night. They mamish. Yeah, just They are the guiding light of my life, whether it be in dating or in learning. I follow their every move, and they're incredibly supportive and unbelievable role models for those of you who know them. Those of you who know them, and they're incredible, and I thank you so much. To Bubby for setting the tenor for the Goldberg family, a family that is built on Torah and mitzvos, and I hope one day to be as big of a mammon, as big of a Bal Emunah as you, and I can't thank you enough for everything that you've given to me and to Dina, for welcoming Dina with open arms. Thank you so much. To Gila and David, take me right in the fold. There's no way to get more into the fold than a little bit of time with David and Gila. They just threw me right in there. Thank you so much. You're unbelievable. You've been incredibly welcoming. Thank you so much. And thank you so much. Thank you. I have not yet met Safti, and I have not yet met Grandma, but I've spoken to them and they've been incredibly welcoming. So I'm really excited to meet them, and I thank them for their warm words. I have to issue one apology to the community at large of the Young Israel of Century City. I know everybody was planning for Dina to marry their sons, nephews, and first cousins, but she's not. And finally, to everyone here, thank you so much for coming. It would not be a simcha without you. It's an incredible simcha to see everybody here, and it's incredibly meaningful to Dina and I. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and mazel tov.
Mazel tov.